Hi, so this week I've got myself a PlayStation 5 controller with a faulty L2 trigger. So as you can see, when we put it into the gamepad tester, the L2 button is constantly on. So it's only slightly on, but it's constantly on. And the problem with this is when you go into a game, you can't play. It works in the main menu on a PlayStation, but it doesn't work during a game. So we need to get into the controller itself. So the first thing you need to do is get a lipper and pop off the two shoulder buttons. They just carefully lift off. And then this black cover needs to be peeled off. So you just pop your lipper or fingernail in that and that peels away. And then we've got 4 screws. 2 in the bottom and then 2 in the top. And then there's 2 clips here that you just carefully remove and then just pull at the bottom and then the back will come away from the front. So this is the trigger that's at issue, and first visuals, it looks fine. It doesn't seem to be out of place in alignment and actually feels okay as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and remove the spring. It could be a bad spring, that it's pushing too much or not enough. So you just get some tweezers and very carefully release the spring. It can take a little bit of getting to. So I'll try my best, and then I'll struggle a lot, and then I realise really I should be removing the battery. So just disconnect that, disconnect the battery as well, and then that'll eliminate any potential shorts. And then come back in with my tweezers, give it a wiggle as best as I can, and then there we pulled the spring out, and then you can feel the difference straight away. And then I'll have a quick look at the spring, and in all fairness, the spring doesn't look too bad. So I'll plug it back into the gamepad tester without the spring, and you can see it's still got an issue. So the next thing I'm going to check, it could be this ribbon cable. So as you can see, this controller's had a mod with lights, and these ribbon cables can damage easy. And first glance, it looks like I might have a couple of pins which are slightly twisted. So unless your eyesight's really good, which mine isn't anymore, I need to get it under the microscope. So we get under the microscope, and there you can see we've got 2 pins which have bent back and are touching. So I'm quite lucky that this hasn't caused any major issues with shorts causing more damage to the board. So I'll need to straighten these out as best as I can. So I've got a pair of tweezers which aren't quite working. So due to the length of the pins, I'm pretty sure that you don't need the end parts totally. So I've come in with a knife and I'm going to unfold the 2 that I folded over. And there's a good chance once I push it back into the connection, they're going to bend up. So I'm just going to very carefully with a very sharp knife cut the end off, reinsert it without any damage. So as you can see, I'm missing 2 little bits in the middle, but it should be okay. I've tried to flatten them out as best as I can. And now the aim is to pop it back into place as straight as possible. You need to be pushing straight down. You don't want it going in an angle, as there's a good chance you're going to twist the pins and they're going to go all over the place. Now I can reconnect this cable here, which connects to the extender, and then I can get my battery and connect my battery. And then we just pop the battery back into place, tuck these wires in just so that they don't get in the way of anything, and then I can plug it into my computer and I can give it a quick test. So we plug the USB-C in, we'll load up gamepad tester, and now as you can see, it's showing up that the L2 button isn't now pressed down. So we've definitely fixed the issue. These ribbon cables are prone for getting damage, are prone for bending backwards. So you just have to be really careful when removing them, when doing other work, that you're not causing any damage to them long term. Now we can put it back together. So we just need to hook the top part on first, which is the easiest way. And then once that's hooked over the buttons, you just clip around the sides, and then the 2 clips at the bottom. And then there's 4 screws that need to go back in, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And then the front fascia goes on. You just clip that around the analog sticks and along the side, and then that's it, we're done. We can put the shoulder buttons back in. They just simply line up and clip into place, and we're all done. So you've got a controller which seems to work fine in the main menu, but then doesn't work during a game. There's a good chance that this could be the issue. Bent pins when one of the ribbon cables. So it's definitely worth checking if you've had it previously opened. Hopefully this helps someone. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.